We generally analyze data to inform policy decisions. But what I think is the future of how we do policy analysis is putting that capability in the hands of people who have the lived experience so they can help us shape better policies from the ground up. So our Imagine Grant project essentially aims to transform the way people are able to use data to make proactive policy decision making. So imagine you're a parent and your kid and some of his friends are experiencing bullying in school, but the city council won't make a change based on just a few opinions from local parents. They're really looking for a broader set of opinion, maybe some data to convince them. What our tool would do would help you summarize the data on bullying from hundreds of millions of records of federal data and tell that council person the story of, here is the problem. We are one of the worst school districts in the country at dealing with bullying, and we need to do better.
Education policy discussions have historically been dominated by personal experience, by ideology. Everyone thinks they're an expert on education policy because everyone's been to school. Data enables us to take that important story, that important anecdote, and put it in context to help us understand how pervasive is that pattern at the school. How does it compare to other schools in the community? And how has it changed over time?
So ideally, cities and communities will be able to use these data to drive change from their perspective in a customized local way. So AWS is a total game changer here because we can process hundreds of millions of rows in seconds at a cost that allows us to enable everyone to use this for free. So before, it would have taken weeks for an analyst or a policymaker or a researcher to process and collect the data. And now it will only take seconds for them to analyze hundreds of millions of rows of data so they can get this information really quickly. And they can use this information to drive policymaking processes that take hours and days and not weeks.
So it's easy to imagine these great data resources we put together being used by people who are already using data. But our dream is really for these data to be used by people who are in a position for it to make a difference in their work, but who aren't accustomed to using data because it hasn't until recently been available to them. Our ultimate goal is to have better outcomes for students, have students be more likely to graduate from high school, to go on to post-secondary education, whatever that may be, and ultimately live good lives. And we think that data can make a real difference.
My dream is that in 10 years, 15 years, we will have not just policymakers and think tanks and research organizations driving policymaking, but that everyone will have access to the data and access to that power that data gives you in order to drive the policymaking process so that we're all helping to drive more effective policies together as a community, as a nation.